Let's welcome our audience. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Gemini podcast. I am your host, Dan Mora, directly across from me, my co-host.
Hey, everybody. It's Fantastic Frank here.
Frank, we're going to do a year-end recap.
Yeah, it's about that time.
It's about that time. A lot of things to be grateful for. We had a pretty good year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How's your year going so far? Or how would you recap your year?
I say personally and professionally, it's going great. My mom's doing a lot better after my dad's passing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot to be thankful for.
Good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's been a good year. I remember, we'll talk about MedLegal, but that was very consuming at the beginning of the year. And so I recall just running pretty hard at the beginning of the year. We had a lot of, we'll kind of talk about that, running hard. Personally though, man, just a fairly, uneventful-ish year. My daughter turned 18, which was kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
That's a life change for me to have an adult child, my first adult child. So that kind of hit hard.
Sure.
Adult
child. Ugh.
I know. Yeah. Besides that, what a blessings. There's so many, positive things. Yeah. So good year, very good year, I'd say.
Yeah, we could talk about the list that maybe we're going to cover.
Yeah, yes. So we have our MedLegal acquisition, quote unquote, because it wasn't really a true acquisition in a business sense. Our Sailor Legal acquisition was a business sense acquisition. We were recognized by the California Council for Excellence. That was really neat.
That's awesome.
Our fee schedule dropped in July, so that was really good.
Big legislative win. A lot of involvement from the coalition.
Yeah, and final on our list was we were approved as a multiple activity provider by the state bar for our MCLE credits. So that's a big win too.
Cool place to start. So we already had approval for giving individual classes as an MCLE.
Correct.
And how is this new certification different?
This is good because it allows us to not go back to the state bar for approval on every single education opportunity that we put out. So we have basically they trust us. We've demonstrated our trustworthiness, and now we are able to post an MCLE credited education piece and not have to go back to the bar and say, hey, is this approved? So really good. It's a great milestone.
So I wonder if that's going to mean maybe a little bit more frequency for us since we don't have to do the work to get the credits. What do you think is going to be the result of that?
I think that we're very already, and we continue to be careful about what we put out there as education. And so I'm not, unless we gain some resources, which we would love to add some resources to that area. It's a good point, good question, because I think it leads me to think, how can we add some more resources to get more education out into the world? Yeah.
And the ones we've done so far seem to be very successful. I was just looking on YouTube earlier at all the different podcasts and things that we put up, and those MCLE credit type webinars that we have, and then we record them and allow them to be viewed through YouTube. They have like 500 views. They're doing pretty good. We had some on SIBTF. We just recently did an employment crossover one that got immediate traction, already over 400. So they're exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. We've wanted for some time to show that we can be a resource to the community.
Yeah.
And this is a very practical way we can do that.
I love it. I mean, the more education we can bring, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah.
Definitely. So some other things we have on the list here, fee schedule.
Yeah. What a huge milestone. So July 15th, we got an update to the copy service regulation This is regulation sections 9980 through 9984, which included a 27% increase to the flat rate. It included a cap and dispute process for ROI fees.
Yay.
And a late payment penalty. So this is a huge milestone. So I remember in 2017, in December of 2017, I went to the DWC and presented them what was going on. It was a 5-year report basically since the inception of the idea that copy services should be regulated. So prior to 2015, we were unregulated, and I presented this data, which was very compelling. It was a tough time in general for our industry because we received a 40%.
So even the 27 is like filling in a big chunk of that, but it didn't totally get us back to.
Yeah, that's a very important fact that in 2015 we received a 40% decrease in our fees, and then in 2022 we received a 20% makeup of that 40%. So
plus 10% inflation. So yeah, it's more like a 17%, but sure.
Yeah, so that was a really big deal for our industry. Our coalition for professional photocopiers are incredibly active.
Great job.
Pounding the pavement with all the decision makers, all the stakeholders to get them to see how important this was for the health of the industry. And I think that's very, very foundational. That what are we doing? What do copy services, what do professional photocopiers provide for the industry? It's an evidence-based system. You have to have evidence in order to make a determination on injury.
Mm-hmm.
And big win. Lot of work. Oh my gosh.
A lot of data collection. We put some energy into that stuff.
Yeah. So December of 2017, I went to the DWC. In spring of 18, they told me you have to get organized. You have to get you got to get yourself organized. And it was in 19 that we officially organized as a coalition of professional photocopiers. And 19 hired lobbyists, and I give her a lot of credit, our lobbyist, and our board. Our board has been fantastic. With a few people working really hard, we finally got this over the finish line.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What percentage of the copy services are part of the coalition? Do you know?
In workers' compensation, I'd say probably about half of the copy services in the industry are active participants.
That's good. On the applicant side, or all applicant, right?
On the applicant side, it's more like maybe 75-80% of them are participating. And then on the defense side, we have, maybe 25%.
Well, that's great, because then both sides can come together and figure out good direction.
That was really important. Something that was asked for is that we have both representatives of both the applicant and the defendant leaning copy services. And there is a difference, just a market difference for sure. And then the fees themselves are different. They specifically the fee schedule is specifically intended for the applicant side of the market, because the defendant side of the market has
contracts.
Yeah, specific contracts. So yeah, it was a big deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So other wins, we were recognized by the California Council for Excellence. We received a CAPE award. So this is California Awards for Performance Excellence. Honorees are recognized based on the Baldrige Framework for Performance Excellence for their outstanding commitment to sustainable excellence through innovation, continuous improvement, and visionary leadership.
Yeah, I got to give just our embracing of lean is a big piece of this. It's kind of helped shape our culture. George Beersley kicked that off how many years ago?
It's 2010.
Man.
12 years.
Long time ago. And it's been a wonderful ride ever since. I mean, I came on 13 years ago, so I think it was like 6 months when we finally all right, let's do this lean thing.
Yeah.
And lean is plan A, there is no plan B, so it's done really well for us.
Right. Yeah, one of 6 companies to be named in this award. So it's a big deal. We're excited about it. And yeah, it's a feather in the cap for the business philosophy that we've adopted, which is lean, and that it's a journey. We were told that from the get.
Yeah,
that lean, the lean journey is a thing. I'm mentoring a small business here locally that I'm teaching about value stream mapping, and he goes, "You obviously have one of these." I was like, "Actually, no." There's so many elements of lean that what I told him is that you gravitate towards the areas that you think have the most need, and the need for your clients. That's what the foundation of lean is. That it's client value, customer value. So as you're leading your organization, when you see what is it that's contributing to client value and customer value, for us, there was a lot of things that we've focused on over the years, and we can't, the one thing that is interesting or that's important to point out. Some organizations get caught in this leadership by trend, and the leader comes in and says, "Ooh, I got something new," and then next week, "Ooh, I got something new," and the organization can get tired of that, and the next thing you bring to the table becomes mute. Nobody listens to it, and very hard to get things implemented. So
change management is not easy.
Yeah. So for our lean journey, we still haven't implemented all the things that we need to.
It's a constant learning process. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for 2023. I think that's when we're really going to be able to take more advantage of something like the value stream map, when we have all our systems internally consolidated and we can pull data from a single source. I think that's going to help a lot.
Definitely. This is definitely this dovetails great into
MedLegal. I was thinking the same thing. Like, hey, let's talk about when things are not necessarily consolidated.
I mean, given the fee schedule story, 40% reduction, and really difficult times for me personally as a leader of our organization, looking at the amount of debt and just the brokenness of what happened from 2012 through 15.
Oh yeah, we had some tough times.
It was very difficult, and MedLegal during that time also had the same problems. They were purchased in 2011, I believe, from the original founders. So that was a chunk of debt.
It's good timing for them.
And very good timing for them. The owner, he says he threaded the needle, which he did for sure. So good timing for them. The private equity firm generated debt in order to purchase the business, and then during these really rough times, they had to obtain more debt. I'm watching this intently because this is our biggest competitor, and from then even to a year ago when they collapsed, I was thinking, okay, they can't keep sustaining this because they're not gaining market share. By my observation, they're not gaining market share, and they're doing some things that were innovative that weren't winning them fans. For example, they're very heavy negotiators, for their heavy-handed negotiators with their invoicing to the insurance companies. So this reputation with the insurance companies and defense attorneys that was not super favorable. You pick a fight, you're in a fight. If you avoid the fight, you're not in a fight, and you start to generate goodwill, that sort of thing. Gemini has a really good, and I'm just proud to say it, it's just we have a really good reputation in the industry. That story, MedLegal collapsed a year ago, and we were the best positioned to pick up the pieces, which I'm really thankful. We picked up a good number of their employees.
Over 30-ish, something around that?
I feel like it's more than that, but
I feel like it's more than that too. I was thinking closer to 60, but maybe we'll get the numbers by the time we publish and we can put it up in the comments or something.
Sure. but these are amazing employees. These are employees that had institutional knowledge, sometimes more than us. I mean, to a big degree, especially because their focus was in Southern California, and our focus has been Northern California growing south. Theirs has been Southern California growing north. So getting a lot of perspective in that. What a big thing. And I think the accomplishment was that we didn't alienate our current client base and our current employee base.
Yeah, not to say that it wasn't tough, not to say that we didn't have any hiccups, but overall we did a fantastic job of bringing on the work and saw tremendous growth here at Gemini, and thanks, much in part to the bodies we were able to bring in from MedLegal. Maybe bodies is a bad word. The great resource of the human capital. And it's led to some other things. Like we're now actively trying to make sure we support the people that we hired down in Southern California. We opened a new SoCal office space. So they can have an opportunity to get together, do some potlucks, and put their brains together and collaborate while they're under the same roof.
Yeah, pretty neat. We've avoided doing the branch office thing until literally this year.
Yeah.
And it was somewhat of it's economical, let's say that, but I was intentionally trying to buck that trend that we needed to have branch offices and intentionally demonstrate that we could do that from a technological perspective.
Sure.
And that we did it. I mean, we really, really did that. And so, but in order, with us having a Southern California office, I think it does give us, there's a few huge positives. Number one, we have a collaborative space for our employees.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite. We've been talking about, even from a cultural perspective, how do we get more unity? We've always done a camping trip in Northern California, which this year was actually a fantastic success. We even had a couple people from Southern California come up, but now we'll be able to have similar experiences, just kind of create more community and culture within Gemini. I think those types of things are going to be fun. And
there is a element that the clients feel that we're committed.
Definitely.
I think that's important. And, I don't want to call it marketing or sales, but we are committed,
100%.
Yeah. It's demonstration. It's a stake in the ground.
Another way to kind of communicate our commitment was the assets of MedLegal.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to communicate what we had to go through to get the ratings available. That's the ratings calculator that MedLegal has had. From our research, everyone's always said this is the number one ratings calculator. They were really bummed when it was lost. And then the other thing, I always used to call them the yellow books, but these are the QR quick reference guide books. We were able to bring those back. The quick reference book, definitely not as difficult to get as the ratings. The ratings was technology built like so long ago. We had to install like old versions of Windows that aren't even supported anymore, and do a lot of wizardry in the back end with engineering. I can't even tell you what it is, but I can tell you that Justin, our director of engineering, probably has a couple extra gray hairs for sure. But good news is that was launched a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so it's up and running now. You can reach out and we can get you set up on that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to. It's so deep and wide, this MedLegal collapse, acquisition, and resurrection of the tools. And I mean, they were a staple. I mean, they created this industry in a lot of ways. And so for us to honor them and to honor the clients and honor the employees
for sure.
What a feat. But I mean, I think we came out really, really well.
And the employees did too.
Everybody did.
I think it's great. It's an unfortunate transition. It was bad timing as well. It was done last Christmas. So it's probably almost exactly a year now from the announcement.
I was there. It was the day that it was announced, they had a holiday party up here in Sacramento.
Oh, that's right.
And man, it was
Somber.
sad.
Yeah.
There was tears, people literally crying. It was just
I got to say, the employees of MedLegal, they were committed to MedLegal, like the employees of Gemini are committed to Gemini. And anytime you have a big loss like that, it's rough. But I feel really good that we were able to come in, be a saving grace in a way, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, tell us if you see otherwise. But last on our list is our market expansion. So this is fantastic. This makes me smile. It's been in our vision statement forever. You have it almost memorized.
Oh, let me try it. Let's see.
We'll just say, go ahead.
The vision of Gemini is to earn respect as the leading provider of ethical quality service products and services to a growing number of attorneys and types of law. I think that's
very
good.
nice.
Nice. So growing number or types of law. Civil, that's a new type of law that has a very close correlation with work comp. We have a lot of clients right now that are in the work comp market that are also doing civil.
Yep.
And why not better support that and additionally be able to support all civil attorneys?
Yeah.
So this is our first baby step into this whole new world.
It's a big step, but it's a big world. So
It's a really, really big world.
We'll call it a small step in a big world.
Yeah, there you go.
It could bring us, and it probably should bring us national. And that's a huge, we're not even thinking in those terms right now. We are literally just thinking, let's get stable. Let's get the Gemini way introduced and adopted over at Saylor. A fantastic story there too. Great company, amazing reputation from their owner, Stephanie Saylor. And she was really looking for a company like us that was going to honor their employees, which they have several employees with over 20 years in this industry, like subject matter experts that are invaluable.
And that's what we're doing right now. We have a huge opportunity just to learn, soak it in like a sponge, and then also educate, right? It's a two-way street. Like we can bring a lot of benefit to Saylor, and they're going to bring obviously huge amounts to us. That's going to set us up so when we do go into this new market, we're doing it efficiently. We're not putting any of our other systems and processes at jeopardy.
Right.
And we're going to listen to the people that use us and understand what their needs are and execute.
The other part of our vision statement, right? Earn the respect.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now we got to a growing number of attorneys and types of law. So
earn the respect through ethical and quality legal support products.
Yep.
Yeah. So very, very exciting year. I'm glad we got to do this year-end recap.
Yeah. 2022, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, Gemini has been my shining light, that's for sure.
Minus your wife
and my kids. Family, of course. Yeah. And all the backyard stuff. It's been great.
Backyard stuff. Right on, Frank. Well, this has been fun. Any final thoughts?
No, just looking forward to 2023.
Yeah. Wishing all of you out there, our audience, just a fantastic year-end. Fantastic start of 2023. I'm a seasonal guy. I've come to realize that about myself. And what a year for us. We just wish all the best for our employees, our clients, all of you out there listening. Yeah. And great success in 2023.
Yeah. I encourage everyone else to do a little reflection on the positive that they'd experienced over the last year.
Yeah. And those that had a rough one, there's hope. There's all kinds of reasons to turn the page and move on.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Frank. Good talking to you.
Appreciate it. So follow, subscribe, all of the above. Love to hear some comments.
For sure.
Thanks.